Let's talk about yung sinulat ni Carlo. Excellent article searching for searching for Soc Rivera. Siguro para lang let's lay the groundwork for this discussion. Ba't ka nagkaroon ng idea to write about Soc?
Well,
first of all, who is Soc Rivera?
Well, Soc Rivera is parang a high school project. But nung third year and fourth year yan, he was one of the best high school players in the UAAP. He played for the FEU Baby Tamaraos. And then 2006-07, they lost to Zobel in his third year. Tapos lost to Ateneo in the finals nung fourth year niya. And then everyone expected him to jump to the UAAP, to the Tamaraos, and be a very good basketball player. And then he chose to move to UP, which prompted yung rule na pinangalan sa kanya, which is the Soc Rivera rule, which was if you move from UAAP school to another UAAP school, you have to get clearance, or
it's high school to college.
Yeah, high school to college. Clearance or sit one out. That's his story.
Okay, and then do you sort of remember Soc?
Yeah, I remember watching him play for sure. I'm not too sure if I played against him at least once in my life, but I remember watching him for the Baby Times. Yeah, he was a pretty good.
Kasi he's tall. I mean,
athletic.
He's what?
6'4", 6'5".
6'4", 6'5", no? Parang siyang di ba? Parang Rafi Reeves type na
I think he was
mahaba.
he was highly recruited for sure also.
Parang shot blocker, ganun siya. I mean, he's kind of lanky. Hindi siya bato-bato kasi, but parang may future siya, may potential siya going into college. Now, when you read the article and you read na parang, he's in Pampanga now, he's not part of any team, his college career did not work out, and obviously his professional career now is, it's highly unlikely that he'll ever have a pro career. How did that make you feel, reading about the story of Soc?
Actually, I felt sad for the guy. Here's a talent that could have been. He could have shined in the UAP if he just stayed with his first team with UP, or maybe later on with UST. It appeared that he was making foolish decisions, or maybe his maybe the parents didn't influence him to make the right decisions, and he seemed like his priority talaga was just to play basketball. And sayang. I mean, here's a guy that was very lanky, but I heard a lot of his name along with Mark Lopez when they transferred from FEU to UP. So although I never really watched him play, I just heard about him, and I heard he could have made the UP team better. Kaya lang, I guess he got disappointed when they got 0-14 in his first year, and he transferred to another team afterwards. And it just seemed like he didn't have the patience for staying with one team, or results for that matter.
And that's why you felt sad. You felt bad for him.
Yeah, I mean, genuinely sad. Especially with the situation he's in now in his province.
Yeah.
Parang in the limelight of the UAAP, and then suddenly you're playing, in the cemented courts. You have to wait pa for farmers to take out their mga palay. So, sad talaga.
Magu, when you read it, anong naramdaman mo?
That's a sad story talaga, no? For a prospect na ganun katunog back in those days. You hear a lot about all these kids na nagkakamali ng desisyon, paglipat ng school, paghanap ng kung saan sila gusto couldn't make up their minds. Some of them get a better future, some of them mga hindi ganun katunog, wala nang napupuntahan. Mayroon ka makikilala na yung anak ni ganito, yung pamangkin ni ganito, dapat umabot. Dami natin nakikilala ganyan, pero ito yung pinakamatunog. And this should personify yung plight of these young kids who are just trying to find their way into the PBA, trying to find a future in basketball. It's not for everybody nga talaga. Kahit gano'n ka kagaling.
Kahit gano'n ka katangkad.
Yun, kahit gano'n hindi sa galing, hindi sa tangkad, talagang everything has to come together to make it to the PBA level.
What is your most important takeaway? Ano bang your personal insight from reading this article?
Well, just personally, I'm actually glad that Carlo wrote about this, because I'm sure there are a lot of basketball players who have the same situation. It's just that now this guy is one of the bigger names from high school. But I always tell this to a lot of my friends, the younger players who I know, that never just rely on basketball. Always take your academics seriously, and graduate. Because I'd be honest, there are some Ateneo players who just stop in the last year. I'm like, you worked hard for 4 years. why are you just gonna stop your studies for whatever reason? I mean, a degree still matters at the end of the day. I mean, you never know when your career will end or if whatever will happen. You know, a degree can really make a difference, and you know, you gotta study.
That gets thrown around a lot, no? Yung talagang student-athlete dapat, but I don't think that many athletes, student-athletes, take it seriously. Yun, pagka nakikita niyo yung ganitong storya na pagka, God forbid, all the upcoming athletes, other student-athletes, ma-injure, you need something to fall back. It gets thrown around a lot, but I don't think people take it to heart.
I think it's also like it's a blessing for these players that they're studying in these big universities, the schools from the UAE.
And it's sad if they don't maximize.
Diba? Sayang. I mean, it's such a rare chance. A lot of people, you get a free education because you're already a scholar, and you know, basketball helps you achieve that. And at the same time, you know, they guide you. The school's supposed to guide you, make you become better people.
Are you surprised with the reception of people to your article? Because you know, Soc Rivera, he's not exactly a famous player. I mean, this is, you know, he's not exactly a phenomenal blue chip recruit, but somehow it struck a chord with readers. Bakit kaya?
Very surprised. I mean, we write about James Yap and Mark Kagiwa, and it would not even parang be near this level. I think a lot of people were drawn to the story because it's something that is not usually read. I mean, we all write about the success of the players, of how good they're playing, but then for those who are forgotten, no one really stops and just balikan natin si ano-ano na kayang nangyari sa kanya. Another thing is,
magaling ka na magsulat.
Ano?
Just checking.
Another thing is, because of the new rule, I think nanibago yung interest kay Soc Rivera.
Yeah, kasi lumitaw yung pangalan niya ulit after years. Diba?
Exactly. And then now, iniisip mo that if this rule affected Soc Rivera this way, ano yung mangyayari dun sa players who are right now making the same decision na ginawa niya dati?
Diba? Hindi mo malaman kung saan sila pupunta ngayon.
It's a big decision for them now. If the ruling will push through talaga na it's gonna carry over to the UAP, you know, in the years to come, the 2-year residency is gonna do a lot. You know, you can sit out a lot of players from your high school could take over your spot, diba? Unless you're probably a superstar prospect like maybe a Kiefer Ravena who no matter what. I mean, if he was in that position now, off of high school going
2
to
years
college,
is 2 years.
That's why that takes a long time.
If you don't play against the best in 2 years time,
a lot of things can happen.
Pagpasok mo ng third year mo, medyo mababa yung level mo, diba?
And kawawa si Soc parang naging parang charged to experience yung buong nangyari sa kanya. It could have been maybe his transfer to one university to the other. It could have been charged to experience, but he kept repeating the same mistake. And he said naman sa end ng article, diba? Na sana si Jerry Pingoy maybe should really think about it now because of what happened to him. So, you know, if there was a good thing that came out of this, maybe it's him helping out the other UAAP high school players to make better decisions in their life.
It's a cautionary tale. Make sure you make the right decisions. Make sure you have the right reasons for making decisions.
You can't make basketball your end all be all of you know of your life. You can only play up to.
Is that the point of your article?
I think so. All of his decisions were based on basketball and basketball alone. I don't want to say na parang safety net lang yung education, but then it's a proper course to take naman eh. If you're a basketball player, you'd want your professional career to flourish. And magiging backup lang yung education, but still it's a very important aspect na hindi mo rin pwedeng kalimutan. Just make your decisions balanced. May education, may sports.
Okay, so if you haven't read the excellent article of Carlo, check it out. GMA News website, searching for Soc Rivera.